Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Yes, I do. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. See you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out the power and love as we sing, oh, holy, holy, holy. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. Ooh, I want to see you. One more time. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. See you high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing, holy, holy, holy. Just sing, holy, holy, holy with me. Are you ready? I know you're not here, but right from wherever you are, everybody. Holy, holy, holy. Just like that. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Holy and whole. One more time. And holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Holy, holy, holy. Holy and whole. Gorgeous. See you high, high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power and love as we sing, holy. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see. I want to see you. Hello, Unity on the Avenue. If I told you I was really excited to be here, I think maybe I would be telling you that as an understatement. I am so glad to be back with all of you and be able to sing today and work with Dr. David Goldberg. I have a song I'd like to do as a congregational song with you. And I know that we're recording today, and I know that we're all not in the same room, but we have the same heart, everybody, and that's what keeps us all together, so that wherever you are and I am, God is, and our hearts are in the same place. Here's the song. You might remember it. And I'll tell you what I think. If you don't want to sing at all, you just sit back and relax and receive. And if you remember it and you'd like to sing it, that sounds far out to me. Just wonderful. It goes like this. I am awakened to love. I have forgotten the fear. I have forgotten the fear. I will remember the joy. I will remember the joy, for I'm awakened. For I am awakened. I am awakened. I am awakened to love.
Karen Karsh, welcome back. What a joy it is to have you with us again, as always. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, good morning and welcome. My name is Dr. David Goldberg, and it's my joy to serve as the minister here at Unity on the Avenue Spiritual Center. And as you have heard us say before, we are a radically inclusive community. We honor all people, all races, all relational orientations and gender identities. Wherever you are, whoever you are welcome here. And by way of announcements, I did want to remind you that our annual meeting is later today at noon Mountain Time. Hopefully you've received the link. Please reach out, unityontheavenue@gmail.com if you have not, and we'll make sure that you get that link so you can participate. We invite you into the business of the church, because we know that money is God in action, and we want to continue to make sure that we are serving you in the ways that are most appropriate and helpful for your spiritual journey. UOTA annual meeting today at noon. Here at Unity on the Avenue, we are grounded in prayer, and it brings me great joy to share the platform with our prayer chaplains every week as part of our service. This week, we are honored to have Opal James with us as our chaplain to share our prayer, our Bible verse, and our statement of intention. Please join me in welcoming Opal James.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Unity on the Avenue on this beautiful Colorado snow-covered day. Our prayer this morning is flowing with divine order. So please, as I read this prayer, just feel it and see it. Let us focus on the sacred place, the sacred space within where we abide in the presence of the divine spirit. Today, we pause to remember our truth. Let us always pause and take time to remember our truth. We are perfectly one, with the Holy Divine. Just as a drop of water is part of the sea, we can sometimes forget, but we are never separated from the divine love of God, the divine love and guidance. If we but pause to listen to our hearts. For today, we release regrets of the past. For the past, they rob us of peace, of the moment. Today, we release all worry about the future, for we know God is in charge. It will come and go accordingly to divine timing. All is in divine order. We cannot resist the ebb and flow of change anywhere. It's everywhere. We cannot stop a wave as we relax into the flow of all that is love, all that is peace, and infinite possibility. We will embrace us and show us our way, and so it is. Our Bible reading today is John chapter 8, verse 32. And you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free. Amen. Please join me as I read the statement of faith. There is one power and one presence in the universe and in my life, God the good, omnipotent.
Sure. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. We're going to do it again, everybody. Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing, you will do amazing things. You will do amazing things with the joy every new day brings, and with every step you take. Bless the progress that you make, the reason you live is in every gift you give, right? Love your life, love your dreams. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You're gonna do, yes you will, you'll do amazing things. Oh, the places you will go, all the folks you will get to know. Don't worry about when, where, or how. You don't need to know that now. Just know you're on the right track. No need to look ahead or back. Love your life, love your dreams, 'cause you're gonna do amazing things. Just live in the here or now. You don't need to know right now. Sit back and relax for a little while. Sometimes deepest answers come when we're out there having fun. So close your eyes and feel yourself smile. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Sing it with me if you want to. Amazing. amazing, amazing. You will do amazing, amazing things.
Karen, beautiful, setting the stage for us perfectly as always. And as we move into our annual meeting later today, my friends, that is what I know to be true for each and every one of you, for us as a community. We have been, we are doing, and we will continue to do amazing things. Guided by Spirit, all things are possible, and it is good, and it is very good. And I just know all is well. And so as I was reflecting on our message, on what I might share with you today, part of my process over the past several months has been diving into the work of Don Miguel Ruiz. And honestly, I pored over his work this past week. I created a talk that was 8 or 10 or 12 pages long, and being a good editor, I finally decided that that's not what I wanted to do. That's not how I wanted to present. So at 2 o'clock this morning, Spirit spoke once again, and everything got shifted, and here we are. And I'm so grateful to be grounded in principle and open at the top for what Spirit has in store, for how Spirit wants to use me. So while using Don Miguel Ruiz and the 4 agreements as a framework, we are going to flow in a different direction than I originally thought, and I say, thank you, Spirit. And before we get into the 4 agreements, I did want to share with you that it is Super Bowl weekend, and whether you are a football fan or not, what I recently learned is 91 of the 100 highest rated programs on television are football games. Who knew? I knew it was popular. I knew I liked it. I didn't know it was that popular. So enjoy the Super Bowl. And if you're like me, if you're interested in halftime and if you're interested in the commercials, another fun fact, a 30-second spot during the Super Bowl, during prime time, costs upwards of $7 million. So as you're laughing and having your snacks and drinking your beer or whatever brings you joy, just know that those are coming at high dollars, and I find that absolutely fascinating. And we also know that this is a Valentine's weekend. So I invite you into that space of expressing your love for those who have a primary partner or a spouse, for your family members, and perhaps most importantly, for yourself. Know that you are the power, the presence of God expressing, that you are loved and that you are love. So we bless that experience for all involved. So, speaking of Don Miguel Ruiz and the 4 agreements, I came to know his work very early on my spiritual journey, my spiritual path. I learned that he is the youngest of 13 children, born in Mexico. Both of his parents were shamanic healers, and he followed the more traditional path of science and medicine, earned his degrees, became a medical doctor, and practiced medicine in the town of Tijuana with his brother. Shortly after he began his practice, he had a life-changing event in the form of a car accident that nearly took his life. So as he was doing what he knew from a Western medical perspective, his mother and his father and his siblings were also working with him in the shamanic realm, in the spiritual realm. And that spoke to him, and he felt as though that is what truly healed him. So he expanded his practice of medicine to include Eastern and Western traditions. And his book, The Four Agreements, has sold 7 million copies in this country and 6 million copies, and has been translated into more than 40 languages. So he truly is a shaman. He is a wisdom keeper. So many people resonate with his message, and it is my honor just to share a bit more of that with our community today. I do sense that that may not be new information for a lot of you, and perhaps it's a slightly different foundation that you may choose to plug it into. So the whole premise for the book, The Four Agreements, Don Miguel Ruiz suggests that when we create a soul agreement with our parents, when we decide who we're going to incarnate with because of the soul journey that we're on, because of what we need to learn in this incarnation, that when we do that, that almost automatically kicks in and creates a number of other agreements, right? So we know what we need and want to learn. And once we are born, once we come into human form, there are so many more agreements, spoken and unspoken, that come into play. Many serve us, and as Ruiz points out, many do not. And so his work on the Four Agreements is his take on consciously putting forth agreements that work for us. In turn, inviting us to consciously be aware of the race consciousness of what we have just done because it's what we've always done, whether our parents taught us or our religious institutions or our schools, consciously engage with what we know to be true right now. And does that continue to serve us? So Ruiz suggests that the answers, we always have choices, the answers are, yes, I love this and it continues to serve me, or no, this is no longer serving me. I get to bless it and release it and call in something greater that will support me on my journey now. Or perhaps a hybrid. Some of this is good and some of this needs to shift. So that is the premise of the Four Agreements. The first agreement then that Ruiz puts forth is be impeccable with your word. Be impeccable with your word. And he means that literally and metaphorically. So he, like I, am from the school of words are important. And he invites us to consciously consider as we speak, as we write, as we think, as we are in communication with ourselves. Be impeccable with your word. Find the right word. Communicate as clearly as you can. So be impeccable with your words and be impeccable with your word. And I am reminded of something that we have reflected on before that I know many of you are already aware of. One of the lenses that I try to incorporate as consciously and as consistently as I can are the three lenses of, is what I am going to say true? Is what I am going to say necessary? Or perhaps silence might be more powerful. And finally, is what I am going to say kind? Is it true? Is it necessary? And is it kind? So I am reminded then of my dad, whom I loved and adored and looked up to. a self-made man to be sure, went to the University of Denver on the GI Bill after serving in Korea, joined a family business, and did amazing things in his life and for our family. And one of the lessons that my dad always shared was similar to what Don Miguel Ruiz has written about. My dad said, a handshake is your word is your bond. So very similar, he was inviting me into that space of being conscious about what I say and what I offer. Now, to be clear, my friends, when we say be impeccable with your word, that does not mean that we don't have the ability to change our minds, right? Because we know we're all here to learn, to grow, and to expand. The invitation is into the consciousness around our words and what we're doing with that. Be impeccable with your word. The second of the 4 agreements is don't take anything personally. I don't know about you, but I still get to do a little more work around that one. What Ruiz points out is whatever any of our interactions are with anybody else, those interactions, those words, that communication, whether verbal or nonverbal, is more about that person, indeed all about that person, than it is about us. Isn't that interesting? And I have to tell you, going through our process here at Unity on the Avenue, the past couple of months has been a great opportunity for me to practice not taking things personally, right? Whether it is perhaps an email that I wasn't supposed to see, or somebody's opinion that they weren't comfortable sharing with me, I get to invite myself into that space of loving that person and holding them in prayer and knowing they too are a perfect expression of the divine, and whatever their interaction is that may have anything to do with me is not about me. So how might you reframe some of those conversations in your life? Are you working through a hurt, maybe with a parent, maybe with a sibling, maybe with a loved one, dare I say an ex-spouse, right? What have you taken personally? What if you're able to step back into that conversation and reframe it and understand from a broader perspective where they are coming from, whatever they are offering you, whether it is criticism, whether it is hurtful words. Conversely, we also get to hold praise lightly, right? We're not taking anything personally, the good or the bad. So that is our opportunity, that we get to reframe whatever we choose. We get to shift out of victim mentality into knowing, as I am a perfect expression of the divine, so is this beloved, even when they show up in interesting ways. So how might you be able to release some things that you have chosen up to this moment to take personally? The third of the 4 agreements is don't make assumptions. Now, I have heard, like you, for as long as I can remember, not to assume, because what does that do, right? It makes an ass out of you and me. We know that to be true, and yet sometimes I find myself slipping back into that humanness. Because of this, because of this, because of this must be true, and therefore that is what they're thinking, and they don't want this. And, again, I'm falling into taking it personally because I'm assuming. So when we get to that place of assumption, what if we moved into questioning instead? My dear friend, Reverend Norm Bouchard at Center for Spiritual Living, Colorado Springs, wrote a book several years ago called 29 Questions for the Ordinary Life. Isn't that interesting? Because I don't know about you, many of us of a certain age, of a certain gender, were trained to be alpha, that's how we have to be, that's how we have to show up. We have to be the best. We have to do the best. We have to include as many people as we can in that effort. And we get all wound up in the humanness of being extraordinary. Well, here comes one of those interesting times where we get to hold those opposing energies. What I know about you is you are extraordinary. You are spirit expressing, so it can simply be no other way. And yet, with Norm's posit, 29 questions for an ordinary life, it's okay to be ordinary as well. That is a good thing. And he invites us into those questions so we're not making assumptions. So where in your life have you been challenged by assumptions? Is it with a child? Is it with a minister? Perhaps in this congregation, perhaps in a congregation that you may be a part of, that you may have been a part of growing up. You know, one of the things that makes me smile in so many of our New Thought traditions is that we are open and we are loving and we are accepting and we are caring, except for those sons of guns who did us bad growing up, right? I'm a recovering this. I fill in the blank. Those people did me wrong. I love everybody. I accept all the world's traditions except those guys. So, where can you reframe those assumptions? Where can you ask some clarifying questions to help you release that which might not be true or may not be continuing to serve you? The fourth of the four agreements then is to always do your best. Now, it seems fairly basic. Any of us who have young people of any age in our lives are fairly comfortable sharing, do your best and it's okay, and show up, and you can only do what you can do, and we're comfortable sharing those messages. Are we comfortable internalizing those messages? Are we comfortable saying, well, I don't think my talk hit it out of the park today, and given everything that's happening in my world, I got up, I showed up, I did the best I could. I invite you into that grace with yourself, because you see, as spiritual beings having a human experience, it's simply not possible to maintain that level of energy, that level of expertise, that level of perfection all the time, as much as some of us were taught to do so, and that's always required. All that is required, my friends, is that we do the best we can. And that's going to look different from day to day, indeed from moment to moment, based on circumstances, based on how we're feeling physically, based on the energy that we're experiencing in the world. So many of us are empaths, and we're feeling what's happening in the Ukraine. We're feeling for this extraordinary 15-year-old ice skater in the Olympics who is now at the center of a worldwide doping investigation through the Soviet Union. We take that on. It's not in our best interests. So all we get to do is show up, do the best we can. Perhaps we pray, perhaps we meditate, perhaps we acknowledge the situation, and then we get to move on, you see. We don't have to carry that bag of stones with us for the rest of our lives. And since we have so much going on this weekend, and we are so grateful to have you join us on Super Bowl weekend, on Valentine's Day weekend, on annual meeting weekend, oh my goodness, I just wanted to give you an extra bonus. Some of you may be aware, many of you may be aware, that Don Miguel Ruiz actually came out with another book called The Fifth Agreement. So the 4 agreements have become the 5 agreements. And we will share with you then that the 5th agreement that Don Miguel Ruiz puts forth, he actually wrote this book in conjunction with his son, Don Jose Ruiz. And the 5th agreement is question everything and listen, right? How simple and so profound. Many of us are good at questioning what happens in the world. I sometimes am not so good about questioning my own beliefs, my own capital T truths, and that which I choose to live by. So what if we start by asking questions of ourselves? And what if we start by listening to ourselves? And what if, when we ask those questions, we're not thinking of our next question, but rather we are creating the space to listen to the response instead of what we're going to be saying next, because we want to be thought intelligent. So I just wanted to share with you that I had the tremendous opportunity to meet with Don Miguel and his 2 sons, Don Miguel Jr. and Don Jose, in my previous position with the magazine. They were kind enough to come to my office and spend an afternoon with me. We spoke of the books. We talked about Don Miguel and his calling. We talked about his sons and how they are honoring their father and following in his footsteps, and yet that their paths are different and unique in that they are healers and wisdom keepers in their own rights. They insisted on taking photos together. They insisted on taking time and hearing about my story. They insisted that we build in time to break bread together. So while I am sharing as a minister, while I am sharing as a fellow pilgrim on a spiritual path, I'm also sharing from personal experience. And I love the heart of Don Miguel Ruiz. I love the heart of his sons. I am so grateful that they continue to do and offer the work that they are doing and sharing in the world. And you know, we did actually have, as part of our conversation, I wasn't sure if it was a Mexican tradition, a family tradition. I wasn't sure of the word Don in front of everybody's name. And it was actually one of the Ruiz family who said, yeah, sometimes we get that. People think it's a little bit like the Bob Newhart show, where we have my brother Daryl and my other brother Daryl, that we have Don, Don, and Don all in the same family. And they corrected me ever so gently and helped me understand that the word Don is an honorific term. So it is possible for so many to have Don in front of their name, which is why in some places you may see it with the lowercase d before the actual name, or a capital D, for my editor friends who are into the details. So again, the now 5 agreements, my friends. Be impeccable with your word and with your words. Don't take things personally. Don't assume. Don't make assumptions. Rather, ask questions. Always do your best and give yourself permission to bless the experience and move on. And the 5th agreement then is always be skeptical and listen to the response. So what we know to be true, my friends, is that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. Let us all set the intention of being open and honest in our communication and being more intent on listening than on speaking. Please join me in prayer. How good it is to understand more of what makes us these glorious spiritual beings having a human experience. Let us step into what we know to be true about our communication, about the agreements that we have with our parents, that we have with those around us to help us, to encourage us on our soul journey. And let us be in that space of consciously choosing that which serves us and releasing that which no longer serves us. Let us continue to be in that place of being impeccable with our word and indeed with our words. Let us be in that place of comfort, of peace, of relaxation, of not taking anything personally. Let us call in the higher power to help us address the circumstance of not making assumptions. And let us stand in the truth that as we are all doing the best we can in every moment, so too we offer that grace to all of our sisters and brothers on the planet. I am so grateful that we accept wisdom wherever it lies, be it from the Bible, from Jesus, from Buddha, from Yahweh, from Mohammed, from Mother Teresa, from Malala, from Dr. Seuss, and yes, from the youngest child of 13, born into poverty in Mexico, who went on to become a spiritual guide and leader and wisdom keeper. I bless this tradition where we call it all in, because I know the one power, the one presence that I call God is in, around, and through it all. There is no way for anyone or anything to be separate or apart from that which is the divine, that which is the container for all of our experience. So I simply release. I let go. I allow us to be in that place of receptivity, knowing that all is well. God is magnificent. We are blessed. And we anchor this together by saying, and so it is, and so I am, and so we are. And my friends, now is this time where we have the opportunity to give where we are spiritually fed. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, thank you for your gifts, for your tithes, for your offerings that enable us to continue to carry this message of peace, this message of love and self-love to a world that so desperately needs it. And please join me in our blessing of the gifts and offerings. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
Everybody's been through hard times. Lately, some really hard times. I've heard some people say it's gonna always be that way. Well, I believe this too shall pass, and it's not true. We're gonna come around and make it last. And I've got some sweet little things to talk about with you. If you want to make a change, here's what we all can do. It doesn't take a whole wide world to make life a little better. It doesn't take a whole wide world if you want to make a change. Just an attitude of gratitude, seeing ourselves a little clearer in the mirror, step by step, minute by minute. Put your heart and your soul and your love right in it, and then you're gonna see a change. What do you think? It's gonna take a whole wide world. Doesn't have to take one to make life sweeter. It doesn't take a whole wide world if you want to make a change. Just you and me hanging on, being strong, taking God with you step by step, minute by minute. Put your heart and your soul and your love right in it, and then I know we're gonna see a change. Yes, we are. If we choose love, it's what all of us respond to. Choose joy in a smile or in a song. Choose hope. It's what we all can hang on to, step by step, minute by minute. Put your heart and your soul and your love right in, and then, right then, we're gonna see a change. I gotta do it one more time. It doesn't take a whole wide world to make life just a little bit kinder. It doesn't take a whole wide world if you wanna see a change. Just see yourself a little clearer in the mirror, step by step, minute by minute. Put your heart and your soul and your love right in it. Gonna see a change. You're gonna see a change. Yes, you're gonna see a change. You're gonna see a change. I love you all.
Outstanding. Such a blessing, and so many thanks, Karen. Original music, standards and standbys. You are extraordinary, and we are blessed.
Thank you so much.
And my friends, I would remind you once again that we do have our committed giving forms available on our website, as well as here in the sanctuary when we come back together. And we are simply asking you to offer your prayerful consideration to your gifts for Unity on the Avenue for this calendar year of 2022. It simply gives our Board of Trustees a bit of a starting point as to what the intention of the community is. So those are available at unityontheavenue.org. And again, thank you for your prayerful consideration. And then, as we have been doing for quite some time now, we want to offer our blessing for the children of this community as they are coming back to this beautiful church, this beautiful sanctuary, this beautiful space. We offer this blessing for the children of our community and the children of the world. Please join me, rub your hands together, get that beautiful energy flowing as we offer our blessing for the children. You are loved, special, and important. We see you and bless the divine being that you are. And finally, one more reminder, please do join us for our annual meeting later today at 12 noon Mountain Time to learn of the business of unity on the Avenue. We promise to have you done in plenty of time for all of the pregame activities for the Super Bowl. And as Karen already beautifully offered, happy Valentine's Day. Enjoy this day, this holiday of love. And now, together, let us offer our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. I am that light. The love of God enfolds us. I am that love. The power of God protects us. I am that power. The presence of God watches over us. I am that presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Go in power. Go in peace.
Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. This is a song for all of us. Here we go. 1, 2, I send my love. I send my love over the mountains, and I send my love up to the sky. I send my love over the seas and the ocean, and it returns to me. And I send my love over the mountains, and I send my love over the seas. I send my love up to the heavens, and it returns to me. We're gonna sing joy just 'cause we can, everybody. And I send my joy, all of our joy, up to the mountains, and we send our joy up to the seas. We send our joy up to the heavens, and it returns to you and me. We're gonna do love one more time. I send our love. We send it over the mountains. We send our love over the seas, and we send our love up to the heavens, and it returns to you and me. Say it returns to you and me. You know it returns to you and me. That's why we send our love